Hello and welcome to, well, this is going to suck. This is like a series that is where the workout is almost an afterthought to the warm-up because the warm-up is so rough that you just know going in it's really going to suck. This is one of my favorite warm-ups, in fact, and what you're going to do is 100 backstepping deficit lunges per leg with 400 skips. That's the warm-up. Now, the way that we do this is 25 per leg body weight, 25 per leg with 10 kilos. I'm going to use dumbbells, 25 per leg with a 20 kilo weight vest, and 25 per leg with a 30 kilo weight vest. Now, in between each of those sets, I'm going to be doing 100 skips. We time the whole thing and see how long it takes to get through. It shouldn't take long. I'm not going to go hell for leather here. This is just me going through the warm-up, and I'll speed through certain bits so that you don't have to go absolutely rep for rep with me and hear each exasperated breath that I go through during this warm-up. It is one of my favorite warm-ups because by the time you're done, if that's all you wanted to do, that would be fine. That would be a pretty decent workout. And if you want to get into a workout, then if you've got old man's knees like me, you kind of feel like, well, I'm so nicely warmed up now that I can throw anything at my joints and they'll be okay with it. So plus I trained low volume, high intensity for so long that I started doing this sort of stuff really high volume to kind of bring the capacity back in my legs to cope with this sort of thing. Anyway, that's enough talking. I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to start the timer in 10 seconds, and as soon as I start, I'm going into the first round, 25 bodyweight lunges with a deficit per leg into 100 skips. 10 seconds on the clock now, and let's get going. This is going to suck. Always starts off, and my knees feel horrible. 5. But before long, they feel nicely warmed up. And by the time you're getting into the weighted stuff, they feel fine. And I started doing this and baking in the skipping as well because I wanted to make sure that my feet, calves and Achilles were resilient to that sort of thing. As I get older, they're not likely to crap out on me and snap and give me one of the worst injuries you can possibly imagine. That snapped Achilles, that's 15, I think. 17, I'm going to get on with it now. So something I wanted to draw your attention to, since you're going to be doing so many fucking lunges in this warm-up, excuse my French, is the small turn-in of the stabilizing foot, the foot that stays on the floor during a lunge. Now, ignore the fact that I'm skipping while I talk to you about lunges, but it's really useful to think that that lead leg, when you lunge, is slightly turned in. Now, that creates much more hip stability, much more strength and power from the quad and glute, and it kind of mimics a position that is used a lot in Olympic lifting. If you just type in Olympic lifting for the sake of this into YouTube and go have a look at the way someone goes through a split jerk during the clean and jerk, they will have a small turn-in of that lead foot. Now you can see here that my foot is oriented in like a 3 to 5 degree turn-in. We're not talking much, but it's enough to give me more stability, more engagement from my glutes, and more stability in my hips. So give it a try. Now if you don't have a weight vest or these exact weights, try and get as close as you can. And if you don't have a deficit like this, use a standard plate weight or a cinder block, a couple bricks, or don't use one at all, and just know that you're not completing this as prescribed. Four minutes 50. Time to go on at the 20 kilo weight vest. You could be using a pair of 8 kilo kettlebells, a pair of 10 kilo kettlebells. If you have a pair of 12s, So long as you get close to 20 kilos, that's fine. And if you have a vest, put on the vest. Waste a bit of time, but it's easier. Here we go. Set 3 of 25. 1. I'll put the women's weights below, but for most events that's reduced by about 25%, which means that women will be doing this with their body weight, 8 kilos, 15 kilos, and 22 kilos. That should make things fair, but of course you're always welcome to use the same weight that I use, if not even heavier. 8 minutes. "11 minutes, 20 seconds, 100 lunges per leg, 400 skips. That's how you start a workout. Post your time underneath, post the weights you used underneath, and underneath my post, I'll offer weights adjusted for women, as well as the weights for men. I want to see what you do. 11 minutes, 20 seconds. Look. "11 minutes and 20 seconds. Now that is both a warm-up and a workout if you want it to be.